Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Well, let me get rid of this bug. Today is a really cool day because I'm going to drive one of the fastest American muscle cars ever made. I'm talking about the Challenger, Dodge Challenger, not just any Challenger, the Demon 170. Karl was gracious enough to bring his over. Hi Karl, how you doing?
Doing well, great to see you.
Man,
how you doing?
Good, so this is the one, huh?
This
Beats
is...
every single car on the road.
Yeah, it's supposedly in the right circumstances, 0 to 60 in 1.66 seconds and quarter mile in 8.91 seconds at about 151 miles an hour.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
All right, I don't think I know of any car that goes faster than that.
There's footage out there, you can find it of him pretty easily, and the front wheel is like this far off the ground.
Wow.
Yeah,
almost airborne.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
now, with that kind of speed, it's only rear-wheel drive, right?
it's only rear wheel drive.
How the heck do you get that kind of traction?
It's got to be a prepped track. That's the thing about this car is that you need really good tires and you need to be on a really good prepped drag strip surface. And and that's the whole thing. This car is very single-minded. You know, there's a lot of cars out there that cost more and they're great at handling and braking and all, but you got to pay a lot more money, you know, to get 1,000 horsepower and the potential under the right circumstances to do those kind of times. To me seems like a pretty good deal. And even if most of the time it's hard to take advantage of the horsepower, you still know it's there. I love driving this thing around because the other thing about this LX platform, these Dodge Challengers and the Chargers and the Magnums that are gone now and the Chrysler 300s, they all drive so well.
Well, I'm super excited. Now, I heard on somewhere online that these actually came with a parachute if you had to do like a straightaway run.
There's a system to mount a parachute on this vehicle. I've got all of that, you know.
What? Is it connected today?
I don't have
you
it
may
on the
need
car
it, you
yet.
know.
I don't have it on the car yet. But that's the other thing about this car is you can spend a huge additional amount of money on like a huge percentage of what this car costs. You can spend, and on
accessories.
I'm twisted enough to do it, and all the accessories I've got for this thing, and I've spent, you know, like tens of thousands of dollars. My goal with this car was not to be as fast as possible. I wanted this car to be basically as luxurious as possible in spite of its drag race intentions. So this car has every single option from the sunroof to the red and leather interior to the upgraded audio system. Even the paint, the Plum Crazy, is an extra cost option. I configured this car, you know, for days before I picked out the one that I wanted on the configurator. And the only way this car could have cost more was that Sublime was like, I think, a $700 give or take paint option, and this was like a $495. So I could have made the car cost a couple hundred more if I'd gone Sublime. Otherwise, it's as expensive as it could possibly be.
The run is finished, right? They had 3,000 some units.
3,000 for the US, 300 for Canada. We're all done.
Wow. Now I know if you put EB85, it's extra 100 horsepower. I read online.
Yeah, which it's got 85, so it's making. We can pull up the screen. It's making 1,025 horsepower.
I need a helmet. I need a parachute, and I need to up my insurance.
Actually,
all right, let me call my attorney. Look at those seats.
Yeah,
like
that looks more comfortable than my couch in my living room. Look at that.
No, I had the red seats in my 2018. I had to go from. I'm telling you, Manny, I've driven Rolls Royces and Bentleys. I don't know where Dodge sourced the leather for these things.
Wow, that looks really
comfy. It's really good leather, and it
this
smells.
This is one I don't mind sleeping in.
Yes, yes, and it smells so good too. The leather. I mean, I will sit for a couple weeks and I won't have driven it, and then I go in and I open the door, and it's like, yes, the leather smell built up. Yay! And there's your.
And there it goes.
Now it says 170 on it. You know.
Very cool.
There's another thing to note. It's hard to see because the way these engines are built, but yellow is like the color theme for this car because it comes from corn ethanol, which has got a yellowish golden color to it when you turn it into alcohol that you can run a car on. So yellow is all through this car. I think these are always yellow, these service points, but the block is yellow, and if you get like, you can kind of see it right there.
Oh yeah, I see
so, you know, there was orange blocks in the history of Dodge and Chrysler for performance engines. There have been orange blocks and a lot of blue blocks and stuff. I think the Hellcat blocks are orange also, but all the Demon 170 blocks are yellow.
Oh, so that's what you'll know, huh?
Yeah, that's
color of the corn.
And if you look at the brake caliper, you'll see that it says SRT on the brake caliper in yellow.
Oh yeah.
You know, and then the little eye gem in the Demon emblem is yellow.
Oh my God, you are not kidding.
Yeah. Is that like plush leather, or is that plush leather?
Incredible.
The seats are great.
I'm not used to this one here.
Yeah, well,
I haven't seen one of those in like 30 years.
I know. Yeah.
Oh my God.
The push emergency brake.
That is cool. All right, I like this. This is like flying a plane.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's right. It's like your power stick.
You know, I was expecting a little bit more boom.
Yeah.
Is it stock exhaust?
It's all stock, yeah. But if you rev it, you can hear it a little bit. Go ahead.
I feel it shake.
Yeah, you can see the whole car shake.
Yeah, it is like Shakira. Listen to Macarena.
Do you hear that supercharger whine? Oh my god.
Yeah, the supercharger whine's great. It's one of my favorite parts of the car.
That is cool. All right, wish me luck.
Manny.
And what was that like?
This is very.
What was that, like a quarter throttle?
Hey, that wasn't my fault. You know, this thing's got an ultra sensitive pedal, you know?
He was just releasing the brakes.
Yeah.
Oh, got it.
Whoa, look at the sound. Whoa. Is your traction on?
Traction control's on.
Whoa. Man, this is like right out of Mad Max movie.
Yeah.
Right?
I
have to admit, I'm a little intimidated by this car. Only because it's rear-wheel drive.
Yep.
And I'm already losing some traction, and I haven't even left the parking lot. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, with cars like this, you got to make sure you're shooting straight if you're stepping on it, and your tires are warmed up.
And if you go more progressive, you'll get a better, like feed, because you're just gonna enlist traction control if you're jumping on it too aggressively.
Now, what driving modes is just automatic?
I just leave it in auto.
8-speed automatic transmission.
8-speed automatic, and I just leave it in auto. I do have us in our custom mode, which you can pick what you want, and so I have the transmission and the. Let me make sure. The suspension and the steering are in sport mode.
Cool, but traction's on.
Traction's on.
Just gotta make sure. For the record. Whoa. Holy moly! You know, it's incredibly fast, but yet you don't feel it because you're sitting in such a plush seat and
the car
steering
still feels
wheel
pretty stable, doesn't it?
Very. Ooh. Oh man, this is gotta be called not Demon, but Widowmaker, because I can see people really get in trouble with this car.
There's been a few accidents. People are foolish. They think I don't need traction control. It's like yes.
No, I mean if you look at most Corvettes and Mustang drivers, you know, they end up on the hitting the curb.
If they would leave traction control on, they'd be fine.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I'm just trying to find a straight road to hit the speed limit. Oh! Woo! All right, that's about as fast as I'm gonna try in this car because it's making my palms sweat.
It's a great steering wheel too, huh? This material and everything.
Yeah, well, it's just the right size too. You feel in control.
Yeah.
You know, some cars like the Tesla Plaid Edition, it had that funkiest steering wheel.
Right, yeah.
I had two of them. I sold it because I just didn't feel comfortable. No. And more importantly, the braking scared the crap out of me.
Yeah.
Because you can go very fast, but if you can't stop in time.
And those cars weigh a lot.
A lot.
It's a lot of. You're building up a lot of momentum in a heavy vehicle. On those
Absolutely.
Plats.
Yeah. Good brakes too.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh man. One must wonder what's under the hood when you pass by.
Yeah.
If they don't know, it's a Challenger.
Yeah, the kind of noise it's making.
Right?
They got this purple crazy streak.
And I'm sure people can take this 1,000 horsepower car and even soup it off further.
Oh,
right?
There's people out there modding these things. They're getting crazy numbers out of it.
Really?
1,500, 1,800. Yeah. Because it's not that hard.
It's got to be super scary to have something. Oh! Man. I'm glad I drive a Dawn as a daily driver. This would definitely get me in trouble. Oh, I mean, to think it's a $130,000 car.
Yeah, $133 was my cost.
Nobody can mess with you on the road. It's like
once you're rolling and traction isn't an issue. So I had a Model 3 messing with me a couple weeks ago. And,
you're kidding?
Yeah, and I was like, look, and he kept egging me on and all, and I was like, I'm not going to do anything. And finally, we were rolling at like 30, and I'm like, all right, buddy, now I got you. Your advantage is 0 to 20, 0 to 30 on that electric car. Once we're rolling and I don't have a traction issue and the supercharger's going,
game over.
So yeah, I had to show him what it was capable of.
Very cool. Now, is it readily available, the E85?
Yes, there's
Yeah.
a gas station right at like Molten Parkway and Crown or something like that.
Yeah,
the
Crown Valley.
Crown Valley
Yeah.
and Molten. There's a mobile there, and I put in my E85, and it's, by the way, it's $2 cheaper a gallon.
Get out of town.
It's $3.19. I paid $3.19 for
Wow.
E85 versus like $5
Wow.
plus for that. So you pay less for more power.
Yeah. And what's the, what is it burn per?
It does.
Obviously, when you're pushing
you
it.
don't get as much efficiency with E85. It's like something about, it's a physics thing that I can't explain. But the volume of gas it takes to get the same distance covered is higher with the E85, but it's not 30% higher. So you still end up winning.
Yeah.
If you have an
Interesting.
E85 car, you'll pay less than your fuel efficiency drops. You'll pay
Interesting.
30% less, and your fuel efficiency might drop 20%. So you still make out.
Very cool.
And this
And
really-
I bet you could do a lot of the, cutting down on the weight, by putting maybe, carbon fiber seats, hood.
So that's kind of my fantasy with this car.
Ah.
Like, there are cars out there,
Yeah.
we've talked about them recently, that weigh too much
Yep.
and are costing so much. This car for $133, if I invested $100,000
in
in
carbon
lightweight
fiber.
efforts, I could probably get this thing down to like 3,700 pounds.
Wow.
I'd have a weight advantage and a horsepower advantage on
Yeah.
these other cars that are costing $350,000, $400,000.
Yeah.
And now you've got massive power and lightweight
Yeah.
in one car.
Oh my God. Too much power, man. Woo. What's the fastest you've done with this one?
I haven't done a high mile per hour on this. First of all,
Yeah.
it's actually speed limited to 150 miles an hour, except for short bit periods of time, because you have to go over 150 to get the 8-second quarter mile. So you can go up to like 160 plus in it, but only for like a few seconds.
Yeah, to do the quarter
because
mile.
they want to make sure you get through your quarter mile as fast as possible. But they don't want you, because you know what, this thing's suspension's pretty softly sprung so that it'll transfer to the rear of the car. You don't want to be going like 180 in a car.
Airborne.
Yeah,
because there is not much downforce in the
No,
front.
no, you're not getting downforce,
Yeah.
and you're going to hit a bump at that speed, and it'll go into like a wallow and stuff. So.
I have to admit, it's hard to go slow in this car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what the bad thing about this car
Yeah.
is, Manny, is it wrecks you for other cars. Like I
Yeah.
get in other cars that I know are ostensibly
Yeah.
fast,
Yeah.
and I'm like, eh.
Yeah, it kind of spoils it.
This car
Yeah,
wrecks.
yeah.
The car wrecks
Yeah.
you for other cars. Trust me.
Oh. Man, I would get in so much trouble with this car. Well, thanks again. This was
Manny, I'm so glad
this was
that
a
you
real
got to experience the car.
No,
I
thank
know
you.
you're a car guy. You love these kind of things, so I was very happy
Thank
to meet
you.
up with you and let you experience.
Yeah,
it.
I've driven a Supra before that was souped up.
Yeah.
That scared the shit out of me. I mean, that car, it scares you, but with caution. I mean, you know the car has traction control and
Yeah,
good brakes.
and it feels stable. This car feels very stable. I like it. It feels
Very
very
cool.
planted.
What did you think?
incredible.
Really?
No joke. I mean, the car, for as much as it weighs, 4,000 pounds, I think, 4,100 pounds, this thing, I didn't even push it. This thing was flying. You just got to make sure you're shooting it straight, and traction control's on.
Yeah.
No, this was really, really nice treat. Thanks for bringing it down.
Manny,
And
it's
next
a lot
time
of
I'll
fun.
see you, we'll be 400 pounds lighter.
Yeah, we're talking about lightweight, because
Yeah.
people are doing that out there.
And
Oh, really?
we'll both get on Ozempic and lose another 100.
We'll lightweight, the car will lightweight.
Yeah.
Great success!
That's perfect.
Guys, make sure you check the link below. Check out his channel.
Karl Brauer Cars on YouTube, and
Awesome.
I've got ownership updates. I'm regularly updating this with ownership experiences from the introduction on through putting the different wheels and tires on, all the accessories. I've got them all featured in,
Awesome.
in my videos there.
Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be safe, be well. See you guys on the next one.